So obviously there's a lot of off-season discussion surrounding Kansas and everything that took place in New York. What was learned of that, if anything?
Learned of what?
Of the vote that came out of that trial.
Well, I mean, in the bigger picture, it was just the first trial was pretty limited in scope. So for those that may believe that if it didn't come out and that trial is not going to come out, I don't think that's true. Since the government got convictions on those 7 counts and 3 defendants, I think it's an open question as to whether the remaining defendants will plead and cooperate, or whether there'll be any supplemental indictments coming forward, that other people could be indicted as a result of what happens going forward. But that was a pretty strong signal. You know, the government wins most cases. They take the trial in federal court, and it was interesting, the government's theory that the universities were somehow victims of their own, you know, sort of recruiting the players they recruited. But the government proved it, and the jury convicted the defendants, and that means it's going to go on longer.
This had been hanging since last season where a lot of the stuff broke. Do you think this took away anything, all the excitement from on the court last year?
I don't, and I don't know what that means. I don't think people really care. It seems that fans care only when it's their team, and they defend their team, and they care when it's their rival, and they can point at their rival and say, you're a cheater. Other than that, not one game got canceled. Every check cleared, and you know, we're going to play all these games, and we did it last year. I mean, I thought the cloud hanging over, the quote-unquote cloud hanging over the game was much bigger last year, and it didn't slow the game down one bit. And again, I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know what that says about all of us. But I think what it means is that, you know, people have known that this is a multi-billion-dollar business and money's been changing hands for a long time. They're like, so.
Can you talk to me about this Duke squad? What do you like most about them, and what do you think will be some challenges?
They're really talented first. To have that level of talent with R.J. Barrett, Zion Williamson, and Cam Reddish, and Trey Jones, it's remarkable to have players that good, that young. Duke only returns, though. They don't return anybody that averaged 4 points a game last year. It's not perfect. They're going to be young, and it's going to take them some time to figure it out. But with their length and athleticism and their skill level, they're going to be able to create a lot of matchup difficulties for opposing teams. They're going to have to chase them all over the floor. Conversely, it's going to be an issue for them when they play against bigger teams. They're going to have to guard inside. They're going to have to do a good job on the glass and play in a slower tempo too, because it's easier to slow a game down than speed one up. You know, they've got a lot to learn, but the pieces are great.
What do you say from
Kentucky? Kentucky is the best team 1 through 9. Like, I don't see anybody out there that's got better talent 9 deep than Kentucky has, and it's unusual for them this year, or it's not been the norm, where they've had returning players like P.J. Washington, Nick Richard, and Quaddy Green. Then they've got a one and done that's already a college graduate with Reed Travis, who's a 2-time All Pac-12 player, and he's a grown man. So that's a little bit unusual for them. And then they blend all these really talented young players that are long, athletic, versatile. And I think they shoot it better this year than they've shot it in years past. So that makes them a little harder to guard and extends defenses. You used to be able to pack it in on them at times, and now, you know, they're still going to be able to create in transition with their defense and score up their defense. But you're going to have to come out and get them now, and that's going to open up a lot more driving lanes, and I think it'll be a fun team to watch.
Is this event better now that it's the opening night? Does it kind of bring in college basketball a little bit better nationally, you think?
No, I think it's the same. I think it's nice that everybody plays the first night. That's great. It's great that it's a Tuesday, but you know, really the season started when this event was held in the past, 7-8 years, whatever it's been now, because of the marquee level of it. That more people tune into this than any other opening games. And because of the two matchups that we have every year, even though they rotate, you know you're going to have two top 10 matchups. So, you know, to me, this is not like baseball, where it's some sort of traditional opening day. You can't just have an opening day and everybody's going to. There's still football going on, and we're not. I don't think basketball is competing with football. We just have to do what's best for us. And people find it, like, you know, it's not going to be just the diseased basketball fan that's watching these games. It's going to be a lot of people, and that may not be true of every game that we have tonight. But it's a great start. This is always to me the sort of the opening of the season when this event's on.
RJ Barrett's average 20 points a game since he was playing. What will you be looking for relationship like against this level of competition? What are you going to be watching for this game?
Well, he's played against this level of competition before. I mean, you know, he played for the United States, scored 38 against Calipari coached USA team. So these guys are not. The spotlight's not a foreign thing to them. How they handle it, it's just the first game. Heck, you know, Michigan lost their first game in football, and they're the top 4. And if they keep winning, they'll be in the college football playoff. You know, so every game counts unless you lose one, and then it doesn't count. You know, basketball. The beauty of basketball is if you win, there's no UCFs in basketball. If you win your games, you have a chance to compete for the national championship. And so when people say, these games don't matter, I don't know what they're looking at. These games matter a lot. But at the same time, you're not out of it. You know, it's a great game to play because you know exactly what you've got, and playing against teams at the highest level. And I can't imagine that there's any player out there that doesn't want to play in these games. Like that's why they want to play. And I played a million years ago, but I don't remember the directional school games we played. You remember these games, and the same for these games.
Who do you like in this matchup?
In what matchup?
Duke and Kentucky.
I like the fans because man, this is going to be great. I mean, and I get the front row seat, so I like my seat. My seat is going to be the best.
Can you speak on the rivalry a little bit? I think you're one of the rare Duke players that most Kentucky fans probably like. I mean,
because I sucked. I was of no consequence to them. That's why they didn't bother mess with me. But it's two of the greatest programs in the history of basketball, and I think if you can't enjoy that, you're missing out. You know, when you watch whether it's Duke, Kentucky, or Kansas, North Carolina, or Kansas, Michigan State, or Michigan State, Indiana, whatever it is, when you're watching two of the very best go at it, you know, we want to watch these games for a reason, and people want to see Duke, Kentucky for a reason. One, the history, and they know they've got the best players now, and we've got 4 Hall of Fame coaches in this. And you've got all the top players are here, the top recruits. One of the ways to measure how big this game is, there's 70 NBA scouts here, and there probably are only 70 because they couldn't fit any more of them in here. But to have that many NBA people come to scout this, they know how important this is.
Jay, would it have been a benefit for college basketball to have this the day after Election Day?
So you think people aren't going to vote because of this? I don't.
As far as
so.
attention,
I don't. I don't think so. To me, it's a. Look, I know what I'd be watching. I've already voted, and I'll find out when I wake up who won.
Absentee ballot.
Yeah, you don't really have to. Election coverage isn't something you have to watch. That you can find out tomorrow. These games you have to watch.
Jay, what do you look forward to most about this season getting going? I know there's been a lot of hype about a lot of the new players coming in, but what are you looking forward to most?
I think it's a combination of things, like seeing all the new players in their new environments, and then trying to figure out who's going to be good. I mean, we think we know, but we don't know, and we don't know how players are going to perform. Who's going to get injured. We have no idea, and we've got a. I shouldn't say we have no idea. We've got some beliefs, but you have to prove it, and it's fun watching teams try to prove it. And some teams are bouncing back off disappointment last year. Other teams are coming off a championship or winning their league. High expectations, great recruiting class. There are a lot of great stories in this game, and it's a great ride. And then we get to the end, and we've got the best. I think we've got the best month in sports with the tournament. Our postseason is compelling, and not that others aren't, but I